I'm totally 2 minutes late. 3 minutes now. I'm not going to do the intro thing. I'm just going to roll with it. I was busy with my other job, writing for this weekend. Just kind of got swooped away into the moment. Anyways, let the questions roll in. I see that. Thank you very much. I will answer your question. I mean, I see you said no question. Don't worry. Let me get set up because today we're using VeteranAI's chatbot. What we're going to do is live Q&A as normal. I will answer the questions, all right? And I'll be using VeteranAI's chatbot, and then you'll be able to see exactly what it does here. Let me just get logged in and do all that stuff so that way it's good to go. Yeah, man, I just got really carried away in what I was doing. I was writing a message about identity to our middle school, high school student population. So it was pretty good. Pretty good. I don't even know what email I use for this. No, look at that. C file analysis. Chatbot 6, create a new chat. Okay, here we go. We're in. Share my screen here. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we're in. Okay, there's the chatbot. All right. Let me, now I need to do two other things. I need to pull up the chat. I'll pull up Discord here in a second, and then we will start rolling with the questions. So right now, ask me your questions, okay? Let them roll in. So that way, whenever we start answering, we got a good, wow, that's crazy. I will definitely get to that in a second. Wow, what a start to today's live stream. That's what I'm talking about, brother. That's my own voice. I don't like my own voice. Here's this. We'll scroll down. Okay, there's that. We'll make this big. We'll copy this. Now I'm going to Discord. Let the questions roll on in, all righty? Let them roll, let them roll, let them roll. At everyone. If you're on Discord, you're about to get a tag, so. Live VA disability Q&A right now. Bam. All right. Boop. And I need to put in chat. Join our Discord here. Everyone can join. But members have member only access to ask a retired VA rater your VA questions 24/7. Join or die. You guys know how it is. Copy. Need to pin this bad boy. Pin. Okay, I'm finally ready to start answering some questions here. Thank you very much. And I saw that you said you didn't have a question. No question, but thank you for the information. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Over the last year, I've watched your channel and Veterans Info Tap and optimistic for my claim. It's at 6, step 6, preparing the decision letter now. All right. Well, wishing you the best. Evidence always wins. And then we have a big smackaroo to start the stream. I mean, wow, dude. It says 100% PNT today. That is what we want to see. Congrats, man. That's pretty cool. Hope that lessens your burden. Was 0% for 40 plus years. That's the real Cinderella story here. 40 plus years of missing out on 100%, which is that don't do the math. Conditions that I felt were connected to my service because more serious. No clue. Startup with the VA after 40 years. Thanks to your channel able to get claims processed on my own. My sincere thanks for all you do. Thank you for sharing. One, for donating, but for sharing that, because the whole purpose of the channel is that you can do it yourself, right? And you have tools like VeteranAI who will help you do it yourself. And this, if you do the subscription, it's $25 a month. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. No need for a claim company. And I own a claim company, okay? I'm saying that as an owner of a claim company. You don't need it, all right? VeteranAI will do it for you, or you can do it yourself. If you do it yourself, I highly recommend VeteranAI as a little tool. And they have an annual plan and all that stuff too. So, Hot Pockets. Dude, we're snowed in. My wife is out. I probably ate 20 Hot Pockets this week, okay? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's all I need. Breakfast of champions. Anyways, what we're going to do is answer questions with VeteranAI, and then I'll give you an answer as well. We're just kind of we're going to test how well VeteranAI does, right? So I'm sure Dennis Spawn is somewhere in this chat. We're on the live at least, making sure that what he's doing is working well. Okay. There couldn't be a worse start to a live stream than today. It just couldn't be. Let me change this battery. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now we're ready. Of note, check out this new jersey I got. I'm a big jersey person. I wear jerseys all the time. Have a closet full of jerseys, baseball jerseys, basketball jerseys. And this is a Darth Vader jersey. So I just love the oversized feel of them. Not promoting it at all. I don't even sell them. So it's a Disney thing. Anyways. Okay, let's answer some questions here. We had another one. That's weird. DM 2023. It shows up on YouTube, but not on my, like I have these, but I don't have yours. So I see it. DM 2023. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I wonder if it's because it's a mobile thing. Why is it not showing up? I'm concerned about that now. But thank you very much for that. I don't see a question from you, but if you have one, just throw it in the chat. Okay, let's answer some questions. All right. So let's go from the top. 66 T Love, what's up? How's it going? Yep. Okay, how do I use sleep apnea as a secondary claim for PTSD? I also have the hiccups today. Today's just a bad day for me, man. It really is. Okay. How can I win a sleep apnea second to PTSD VA? So I have the answer for you. I just want to see what this says. And we're going to critique VeteranAI's ability to answer questions here. This VeteranAI does have Nexus letters, creation, decision letters. You can analyze all that stuff. Oh my gosh, dude, these hiccups. Oh, I guess I do need to say, Hot Pockets might equal hiccups. I do need to say this year, this is important, okay? And I'll announce it on the Discord as well. This year, I have become a paid partner of VeteranAI. I was a partner before, but I wasn't getting anything. This year, I'm a paid partner. So it's important for you to understand that this is a paid advertisement. I feel obligated to tell you that. But I use it all the time. Summary. All right, you need the big three, clearly. So I love how VeteranAI begins with the 3 elements of service connection. That is critical here. And it knows the elements are secondary. meaning ChatGPT would have given you a direct criteria, where VeteranAI, because it's rooted in M21 Type 1 and 38 CFR, not necessarily the internet as a whole, like OpenAI, it understands the question. It really understands the question. So this is solid right here. I'm already a big fan of this, okay? Current diagnosis, leveraging your PTSD, strong medical nexus, ask your provider. I love how it's talking about medical evidence here. It's got statements, VA exams, and if denied, right? Important notes from M21 and CFR. Show me in ChatGPT where that comes up. All right. And then what do you do next? Yeah. So that's how VeteranAI answered the question, and I love it. I would also start with this, and I'll answer your question myself too. You have to look at correlating factors, and that's where you start speaking with your healthcare provider, right? So correlating factors. You have PTSD. That's one of them. All right. Are there any other correlating factors? Are you on medication for PTSD, and that has forced you to gain weight? And all of a sudden you have weight gain, obesity as an intermediate step. That's a correlating factor. Are you a PACT Act veteran, meaning post 9/11 Gulf War? Did you breathe in heavy particulate matter? Were you exposed heavily to toxins or burn pits and things like that? Are you on medication like gabapentin? Right? None of these cause sleep apnea. Obesity is pretty close there. But you have multiple correlating factors. That is what builds the case for an at least as likely as not. So there's your answer. Multiple correlating factors. Easy does it. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. All those who just got memberships, those are completely random. Join the Discord. And you got 20 memberships. That's pretty wild. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm going to die of hiccups. Cause of death is hiccups. Y'all know I had hiccups last week too. Okay, let's answer some more questions on this. I have my mental health CMP exam in a week. That date gives me so much anxiety. Yeah, no, CMP exams already suck as is. CMP exams for mental health, you're going in to be open and vulnerable, and so it makes it more difficult. Anyways, I'm going to turn that into a question, okay? Can you help me prepare for my mental health CMP exam? We'll give it a minute, okay? Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Boom. You can ask this thing anything, okay? What to expect at the exam, how to prepare step by step, review, home run, VeteranAI. I want you to understand what's happening. For the sleep apnea thing, it started with the elements of service connection, which is most important. That's number one, okay? And for the CMP exam, it began with reviewing your evidence. Evidence always wins. This is not some run-of-the-mill OpenAI ChatGPT platform. There are veteran developers, okay, who are way smarter than I am. They get paid very handsomely, probably, who has made a tool that doesn't suck, okay? All on their own. No venture capital, none of that. They've done it on their own. That's why I want you to do that. No, I won't stop with at least as likely as not, because it's still a real thing. It's at least as likely as not. Okay. Anyways, Bill's bike, aircraft crash site. While in the hole, retrieving parts, the hole caught on fire. The hole had fuel, hydraulic fluid, and all types of stuff burning and smoking, how can that be claimed? Thanks, Bill. Yeah, so you can't claim the incident. The incident itself is nothing. All right. I don't know if you're talking about a stressor, meaning you have some sort of mental health disability stemming from this event, or if you're talking about breathing in, heavy dark smoke or whatever. Regardless, you need a current diagnosis, and then whatever that is, that becomes claimable. If you're talking on the toxin side of the house, oh my gosh, the toxin side of the house, you would have to show how your exposure to the burning and smoking led to that specific diagnosis. So one of those two. Review the mental health DBQ and write out answers ahead of time so you don't forget what to say. Remember, it's not a doctor's appointment, so you have to be precise in what you say and reveal. Sure. Thank you for being a member, by the way, too. We answered that one. Hello, Clay. I asked this yesterday, but I wanted clarification if you don't mind. File for sleep apnea had a private Nexus in DBQ. They have still scheduled an ACE, good or bad. It's neither not good or bad. They probably deemed your DBQ as insufficient, right? The Nexus letter opinion is still there. And so I would be curious as to the nature of the evidence on your Nexus letters. Listen, not every Nexus letter is created equal. All right. Hi, everyone. What's up? Nice. Welcome to the live. This is a VeteranAI live, so it's a little different. If I get rate 100%, but still have CMP exam coming up, should I attend? If you ask me that question, the answer is yes. You should attend. Money is being spent on your behalf to attend the exam. You should attend, in my opinion. Do you have to? No. It's not a big deal. But why wouldn't you? I have sleep apnea diagnosed by the VA. I am not rated. If you don't attend, you should withdraw the claim. Let me add that. However, I'm not rated for it. How do I go about getting rated? Let's see if ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, that sucks. VeteranAI. The first question was about secondary. Okay. Now I'm going to see if VeteranAI can differentiate between direct and secondary. I am diagnosed with sleep apnea. How can I get sleep apnea service connected? I'm curious if it's going to parse between direct and secondary. Although secondary is the most common, especially after the fact. Okay. Confirm your diagnosis. You got to have a sleep study. Boom. Establish service connection, and it did. Wow. Direct, secondary. That's actually what I wanted it to do. I didn't know it would do that. So I'm pretty impressed. So far, I'm impressed with VeteranAI. For your situation, Melissa, I'm going to assume that you've been out of the service for a while, and direct isn't even an option. I just wanted to see if VeteranAI would do it. But then we have secondary service connection. How do you go about getting rated for it? You have the diagnosis by the VA. By the VA doesn't matter. You're diagnosed. You got to look at the theories of service connection. So it's either direct, secondary, or I don't like how it says presumptive here. Really, it would be based on exposure, right? Terra, if you will. So probably plus 10 here, minus 1 here on C. But yeah, you figure out If it's secondary, what is it? Have that conversation with your healthcare provider. Figure out how you develop sleep apnea. Also figure out, and I'm just going to be real with you here, are you 300 pounds? If you're 300 pounds because you can't eat right or exercise, that's going to be a very difficult claim to win. So you have to figure out where it stems from. Okay. Can I zoom in on this more? That's what I should have done that. Okay. Disabled Ronan says 6 is a great tool from VeteranAI. I've used it to help me write statements and Nexus letters. I want to clarify this point here, and let me just go down and show you where he says that. If you're doing statements or Nexus letters through VeteranAI, I wouldn't use 6, the chatbot. Like, the chatbot is good for questions. That's what it's built for. Okay, it's built for that. But you can upload your claims here. Okay, when you upload your claims, you can click on each claim. You can create a claim. You can do all that stuff, and through that, you use that tool, the tool that's made to write statements, the tool that's made to develop Nexus letters, right? So I wouldn't use 6 as a catch-all. I would use each tool individually. So the statement tool here is pretty solid. The Nexus letter tool here is very solid. The C file analysis, very, very solid. If you have your claims file or your service treatment records, all that stuff. And then the chat bot is good for questions, right? So just food for thought. That's kind of like, I need to go grocery shopping. And so instead of taking my truck, I'll take my motorcycle. It'll get me grocery shopping. But when I check out and I have 30 bags of groceries, I'm not getting them home on a motorcycle, right? So I'll use the right tool, the truck in that instance, to go grocery shopping. C&P examiners are not your friend. No, they're not. Also, announcement. Here's an announcement. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, which I totally forgot to send Jackie the invite. I'll do that after the stream. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, I am having a C&P examiner do a live Q&A. So come say what's up. She's very cool, very personable. I ran into her randomly, and we're going to have her on. So I'm very, 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 very looking forward to that. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. I'm 100% PNT. Should I file for Vertigo? White matter. Why would you want to file for Vertigo? One, you're PNT. So there's nothing that Vertigo would give you that you already don't have. 2, your Vertigo claim is probably secondary, which Vertigo, when secondary, is roped into the primary. Okay, so it would literally do nothing whatsoever. Hey, Clay, when the changes happen, will we still be able to claim secondary to tinnitus? I believe so. The VA rates symptoms. They don't rate diagnosis. So, for instance, after the changes, let's say it's hearing loss with tinnitus at 10%, you can still submit a secondary claim based on that. I mean, there's nothing. The VA rates symptoms. They always have rated symptoms. IU. Okay. Hi from Columbia. Like Columbia, South Carolina, or like Columbia where if I go, I'll probably get divorced. That's a bad joke, but okay. Thanks for all the info. 100% PNT. Esophageal cancer and residuals. AI was helpful. I'm glad you rated, but I'm sorry to hear about that. Have an appeals court hearing on my flat feet implanter Fasciitis. How can I win? I would need to know the nature of your claim. Why were you even denied in the first place? Why would you even take that to the Board of Veteran Appeals to begin with? I have so many questions that I'm unable to answer that. And I don't even think VeteranAI would. There's too many missing holes. Oh my gosh. Dude. Cause of death is going to be hiccups. Congrats. Got 30% from migraines. I filed for increase with the letter from my ex-boss saying I have taken off due to migraines and it has affected my promotion cycles. Is that enough for an increase? I was going to do a video on this today, but my hiccups were so bad that I just couldn't do it. But I'll show you something. This video is coming, by the way, probably tomorrow, maybe tonight if I stop hiccuping like a little baby girl. Okay. This is M21. This is difficult to navigate if this is your first time. Okay. I know where it's at. Don't worry about it. Migraine headaches. Usually for migraine headaches, what you see is people talk about diagnostic code 8100. They talk about prostrating migraines, economic inadaptability, and all that stuff. People always forget what is below this. And you're not going to find this in 38 CFR. This is M21 TAC 1. This is the nitty gritty. So let me show you something. Okay. Scroll down here. The role of medical evidence in establishing the fact of prostration. I got some serious hiccups right now that I do apologize for. Let me read this to you, and then I'll give you an example of my personal life, okay? Although prostration is substantially defined by how the disabled individual subjectively feels and functions when having migraine headaches symptoms, medical evidence is what? It's required. It is required, not an option. It's required to establish that the reported symptoms are due to the service-connected migraine headaches. Right? I'll get to your increase question in a second, but before you do that, you have to have the evidence for the increase. The following is an example of a medical statement, okay? What this is saying is you have got to go speak to your healthcare provider. You have to. Your primary care, if you've been seeking treatment for migraine headache for a while, you'll probably have a neurologist. Go speak to them. What's going to happen is they're going to build you a treatment plan. I'm going to give you an example of my treatment plan. I keep this thing next to me always. This is GammaCore, all right? Non-invasive vagus nerve stimulator. You put some gel on this bad boy, put it right here. It feels a little weird, not going to lie, but I can use it and talk. I brush my teeth in the morning when I use this. It's easy, okay? I use this twice in the morning, twice in the evening. Also, paid partnership here through GammaCore, which is really cool because it doesn't cost you anything. It's free through the VA. If you're service connected for migraines or you have a 50% rating or higher, you get GammaCore for free, okay? A part of me speaking to my healthcare team is GammaCore. I also take a nightly medication, which the sleep is. I've never had better sleep in my life than this medication, okay? Then I have a rescue medication. It starts with a U. I can't pronounce it. And that's my treatment plan. GammaCore, nightly, and then rescue medication, okay? Through that treatment, your healthcare provider, primary, referred, whatever you got going on, is going to be writing doctor's notes. And I'm saying that as a guy in the basement, okay? I'm sure there's a better medical way to say that. But they're going to annotate the symptoms that you tell them. So that way they can prescribe you treatment. Treatment is important. treatment also equals evidence. And then I want you to see here, medical reports may not use the word prostration. However, this is an adjudicative determination based on the extent to which the facts meet the definition of the term, which the facts. You've got to have medical evidence showing that your symptoms are from your migraines. Now, knowing that, Buddy Lightyear 04, that's a really long way around the barn. Knowing that, how do you do the increase? One, if you haven't done this yet, you need to. Ask about Gamma Core. Your service connected, it's free for you. Okay? Ask. There's many other, and it might not be right for you. Follow your healthcare team's advice always on that. But have that conversation, talk about your symptoms, submit the increase. That is how veterans get properly rated for migraines, especially at the 50% level. Okay? Hope that answered your question. Okay. Let's go back to VeteranAI. That was a very long explanation. Oh, and I lost my spot. Okay. Brother, that's congrats. Obviously, the issues must be terrible. Guys, see yours. Oh, for the 100%er, yeah. I have what I believe can get me TDIU, but need a chat or call to talk about it. I have SSDI from regular job. Well, we do have a claim service for that. Not that you need that, but if you want to chat or call, we do free emailed consultations. You should just reach out to us if you want. You could also use VeteranAI. So like and subscribe too. That's right. I need help with daily living. Also, should I put the Social Security report in the claim? There's evidence that helps you and there's evidence that doesn't. So if it helps you, submit it. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm absolutely being destroyed by hiccups. My whole body is getting sore now. I'm going to try to make it to 1 hour. Would you recommend filing for diabetes being P&T? Bobby D's, longtime fan of the channel. Also, congrats on your roller coaster of a ride. And if you can't see here, way up there are the two. Let me, hold on. Bobby D's had this made for me. Look at this. Lightsaber comes off. The coat comes off. Everything. So I'll always bring this up when you show up. Anyways, answer your question. 99.9% of veterans should not file for anything once they're P&T, unless we're talking about potential DIC benefits or SMCs, right? SMCK kind of teeter-totters on that line. Personal preference there, I would say no. Then the answer is you don't. So generally speaking, 99.9% of the time, the answer is going to be no. I want to see what VeteranAI has to say about that because that's extremely subjective. And I'm curious as to how SIX will kind of handle this. Would you recommend filing for diabetes after reaching 100% P&T VA disability? I'm curious as to how the chatbot will answer this sort of subjective thing here. So it says yes, if you believe it's service connected or secondary, even if you're already P&T. Talks about DIC, SMCs here. I don't disagree with what it said, but my advice would be no. Right? I am impressed that it was able to take a subjective a question that would lead to a subjective answer. So that's pretty wild. VeteranAI.co, by the way, is how you get here. Has anyone here doing a BDD use VetAI? I've been told it doesn't matter since my things are diagnosed and service connected, but want to do everything right the first time, anxious about the process. You can if you want. Okay. Can you help with BDD claims? Let's see what it spits out. But I can tell you this, as far as statements, the statement generator on here, not through 6, but through the claim thing, that in itself would be a big help. Okay. And it's talking about bilateral deafness. Maybe I will do, can you help with a benefits delivery at discharge claim? Whoa. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it's got all your BDD stuff here. There's nothing crazy about it. Yeah, those are pretty standard BDD stuff. Anyways, yes, it can help for sure. Statements are there. You don't need the Nexus letter tool. How come if they diagnose you, they won't automatically put it in the paperwork to get you rated? Just because you're diagnosed with something doesn't mean it came from service. So for instance, let's say, let's take me now. I served in the Marine Corps, did my time, whatever. I have zero, well, not zero because there's exposure there. I'm trying to think of a claim that I would probably never have. Or if I developed it, it wouldn't be from service. Let's say I get kidney cancer. All right, let's say I get kidney cancer. And I go to the VA, I'm diagnosed, I'm in treatment. My kidney cancer would have stemmed from maybe genetics, maybe something else, but it ain't got nothing to do with the military, right? So just because you're diagnosed with something, even if it came from the VA, that means diddly squat to service connection, period. It's not, it's more different than apples and oranges. If I get 100% and still have claims in, do I have to, we answer that one. Want to thank you and the other guys and gals that you do. It took me forever to get my IU. Congrats on that. All right. That's really cool to hear. I love seeing people reach, although I disagree with IU fundamentally, I really love seeing veterans hop on IU. I'm about to submit a supplemental claim a second time. It was originally denied due to not uploading any documents to support the claim. Okay. You need to have that new and relevant evidence. And so I assume now that you have it, you're going to submit the claim. I'm curious what are the requirements to submit a supplemental claim? New and relevant evidence should be the answer it spits out. There we go. Look at that. And it's even in bold. Wow. I got to tell you, it's important to know that I'm a partial owner of VeteranAI, and starting this year, this is a paid advertisement. I want you to know that up front. But genuinely, I am impressed with the answers it has given. Right? I love the sleep apnea, understanding the 3 elements of service connection. We had another sleep app. There's a mental health CMP exam help. That was pretty cool. Another sleep app. I tried to full it. and kind of trick it, but it understood direct secondary. This part was weird. Presumptive is not the right word. It would be exposure. Okay. What was next? Oh, the subjective answer from should you file? Then we have the BDD claim question here. And then requirements for supplemental new and relevant evidence being bold up in front. So pretty solid. I have a serious question. What flavor Hot Pocket? Rainbow Poopy Wet 6, thank you for being a member. I love seeing your name all the time. And do you let the kids pick their own flavor? The kids have these little like personal pan pizzas I bought from Costco. Before my wife left and before it snowed in, I went to Costco and just bought things. So they're eating pizza every night for dinner for a week. They are eating cheese. These are pepperoni flavored Hot Pockets. Hello, sir. Happy 26. The VA ordered a sleep study for me. I was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. They sent me a ResMed CPAP machine. I submitted to the file to claim sleep apnea. Denied. What do I do? Figure out why you were denied. Okay. How do I fight a denial on my sleep apnea claim? Question is, how did you claim it? Direct, secondary, exposure, what? That's question one. Second question is, why were you denied? Of those three, they each have 3 elements of service connection. Which ones are you missing? Okay. So are you missing a diagnosis? You're missing the Nexus. That we know. It's just, did you do it direct? And then you would be missing the in-service event. Did you do it secondary? And then you'd be missing the Nexus. You have the diagnosis, so that part's gone. All right. Consider secondary, right? So the bot is assuming you submitted it direct with the question that I typed up. But yeah, I would have to know how you submitted the claim and which element are you missing? Does a rating assignment date change when it is re-evaluated? I'm going to assume you mean effective date. And if the result changes, for instance, let's say you're 70% for mental health effective January 2020. That's reevaluated for whatever reason, and it changes. Now you're 50, you were reduced. There would be a new effective date there. I assume that's what you're asking. Yes, you can submit several supplemental claims. Hot Pockets equal hiccups? Probably. Yes, what he said. Agreed. I have a denied rating for sleep apnea, but I also have asthma. Now, with the presumptive list, can asthma be grouped with sleep apnea? Would it be worth it to file for asthma if I'm only 30%? So I'm going to assume you're hold on. You filed for sleep apnea and you were denied, but you also have asthma. If you have asthma, you should submit for asthma. Okay. Period. Asthma and sleep apnea are rated together. Right? Sleep apnea 50, asthma 30 in most cases. It's 30, 60, 100. They're rated together. So if you have sleep apnea, you'll have sleep apnea with asthma at 50%. If you don't have sleep apnea and you have asthma at 30, then it's asthma at 30%. an asthma presumptive would be a way easier claim. Okay. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why you wouldn't submit for both. Like you submitted sleep apnea, but not asthma, which really sucks, by the way. It's at least as likely as not. And then there is more likely than not. Okay. Which is from CMP examiners. It's the medical opinions, the burden of proof. So at least as likely as not, 50%. More likely than not is more than 50%, or 51, you could say. Clay, I'm so thankful for all the info you shared. I just got P&T to you and Raider. May God bless you both. May he. And awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Long time fan of the channel as well. I'm not going to make it with these hiccups in. Can COPD be caused by JP8 fuel usage as an Army cook to mess sergeant? The MOSs there don't matter. Okay. Can your diagnosed condition of COPD stem from your exposure to JP8? Possibly. Right. But me saying possibly doesn't do anything. You got to get a medical opinion, a CMP examiner, to agree that your exposure to JP8 has led to your COPD. Okay. So I want to know if your exposure is even conceded to begin with. Has the VA said that you were exposed to JP8? Oh my God. Listen, guys, I got to end the stream. Okay. My whole body is moving from these hiccups and I just can't do it. I'm getting really tired. All right. DM, thank you very much. Easy does it. That's insane. As saying again that you would do 20 memberships and that's wild. Bobby D's longtime fan channel. Guys, I'm out. Go to VeteranAI. They have a free account version. At least get a free version. Okay. Go to VeteranAI. This is just their chatbot, which to be honest with you is like the simplest thing that they do. They have a statement generator, a Nexus letter generator. This thing will analyze your C file, your entire C file. I'm not joking. You can upload decision letters. It will tell you why you were denied. It will tell you what you need for an increase. You can create new claims. VA integration is on the way. There's some hiccups, pun, between VeteranAI and the VA as far as integration is concerned, but that is set. It's almost ready to go. You need to get VeteranAI. At least get a free account, okay? At a minimum. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm probably just going to go take a nap because my body's tired.